Peace, Soul Tribe. Yours truly, Ivory Soul's Journey. What's going on with your Soul Tribe? Okay, I see you in there already. Andrea, what's going on, Andrea? Give me a couple seconds here. Just some open discussions. A little update information. How you doing this morning, Andrea? What's going on? You goody good? That's what's up. Give me a second here. One second here. All right. Hopefully you're doing goody good. We'll have a little discussion here this morning. A little channel update information. Just a discussion. See what's going on. See what's going on with everybody. See what they say. See what's the zone. Give a couple more minutes here to allow others to come in that might be available, might not be working, school, busy. What's the weather like there, Andrea? I don't know where you at, but what's the weather like? Kiana, good morning. Good morning. Let's see what's going on here. Let's talk about it. They say, let's talk about it. Just a few things. It says hot. It's hot here. When I say it's hot, it's really an understatement. It'd be, shit, it's 10 o'clock. What's the temperature? The temperature probably already like 90-something degrees. Thinking loud, maybe. Well, I think the last time I checked, it was 89. And every hour it goes up a few degrees. So it's hot. By 12 noon, it'll be 100. So trust me, I understand. Right? Kiana, what's going on? What's the weather like where you at? And there's a lot. It's a reason why we having this weather like it is, but that's a whole nother discussion and a whole nother lecture, if you will. But nevertheless, it's hot. It's hot. It's hot. It's hot. It's hot. It's hot. You in the valley. Now, there's a lot of valleys. Look at that. Kiana, I need to come to Southern California. You know what? Back in 2010, my family out on the West Coast, I have family in throughout California and San Diego, of course, LA. I have family right there, and even South Central, San Bernardino, Oakland, the Bay Area, and yeah, San Diego is nice. It's just so damn expensive. And my sister and my dad that raised me, and a lot of other family members there in San Diego, it's just so expensive. I mean, it's more like, it's just crazy expensive, And if you're not well established already, I mean, I'm talking about some tens of thousands in the bank. I ain't talking about few $1,000. You got to be, well, at least me, my mindset, I'm not going to go nowhere where I'm not right away able to be comfortable. If I can't be comfortable right away, I'm not at that point in life to where I'm exploring where I want to be. It's more like be established wherever you're going to be, because if not, I'm telling you, you can't this country is not what it used to be, and it's really never been what some would call quote unquote great. That's why when I hear him say, things like make America great again, the last time that America was great was when our ancestors was peacefully, safely here on our land. Since then, the land itself, not the corporation, America, all it is a corporation. It's never been great. It was great when we was a spiritual land, a spiritual people, a spiritual place, but just like anything else, again, that's a whole nother subject. But welcome back, everybody. Soul Tribe, how y'all doing this morning? I just wanted to buy and have an open conversation, share some updates, with the tribe family, and, hopefully we'll get an input and support for a Soul Tribe meet and greet, before the weather gets real into the winter month. And there's a reason for everything that I do. I don't make moves or I do things just haphazardly. There's a reason that I do everything. And in most cases, it's all about divine timing. And I just feel like now, just to bring some updates and some information, to the channel, so that people can get a better understanding of who I am and this person that, some have come to appreciate, come in here and, just giving, it's almost like a personal update, if you will, along with the collective tribe, right? So it's kind of like a bit for open discussion, and I kind of kick things off, let you know where my head is, so to speak, and the head and the heart, and just go from there. Also, shout out and thanks to everyone who continues to support the channel. Much gratitude. Also, thanks to everyone who's been, sending your prayers and your positive energy for my pops. He feels it. He talks about it, and so we'll have a discussion about that as well. Of course, you can always get, and I appreciate those that come, that seeks out, assistance as far as, getting the readings or coaching, or I call it spiritual coaching or what have you, because, it's always good to have somebody that, is not going to be biased, if you will. And a lot of times our people don't have too many people that talk to, or too many people that they can confide in. That's not only going to be confidential, but I understand and I understand the professionalism from a standpoint of being a quote unquote former pastor, counselor, and things of that nature. You have to remain confident. Just can't, people to confide in you about very, spiritual, or, and when I say intimate, I don't mean sexually, but very intimate inner thoughts and feelings and then you go out and share it, or you go out and you discuss it and talk about it with other people. That when you break down that trust and respect and communication, it's a wrap, So, so we will, we'll have some conversations. So I'll be kind of going back here, and I'm not going to be all over the place. And then I'll get, I want to hear from y'all as well. So just shout out to everybody that's been continually supporting the channel. And there was a reason why I got an email. It's like maybe 5 or 10 minutes after I changed the name from, and it's not even a name, but the channel name, and I changed it from IvorysSoulsJourney and Tarot to just simply IvorysSoulsJourney, because I'm so much more, and so much more. There's much more to me than just tarot. Tarot was a gift that was given to me about maybe a year and a half ago. And someone asked me, have I ever thought about, doing tarot? A friend of mine, and I was like, why would you say tarot? And I come to find out that they were watching tarot on YouTube, and they contacted someone and got a reading, and the reading kind of like confused them more than they were before they got the reading. And so again, they knew me and they confided in me, and they says, you be teaching on a lot of people, I'm just giving y'all some background here. And the person was like, Ivory, you be King. They called me King. King, you was like, you be teaching on Facebook, and you was doing it for years, and you just stopped. I said, well, no, I didn't just stop. They blocked me. They banned me. And so they was like, because I was in all of your lives. I still be watching some of your old videos. Have you ever thought about tarot? And this is how I'm being honest with you. And so I says, no, I'm very much familiar with them. And then I pulled out an old deck and showed them in the live, 101 on Facebook Messenger. And they was like, wow. Because as I've shared with y'all, without having to try to, score any brownie points, me and my brother, my oldest brother, we had this tent that my dad bought us, and we used to lay outside at night and just gaze at the stars in our little tent that my dad bought from us. And we, was in the Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts and stuff like that. So we would gaze at the stars, the moon, and, I knew about the Kuiper belt. I know the Orion's belt, just different things. And then I would go, because in school, the 3 subjects that I mastered was math, science, and history. So I've always been connected to math, science, and history. I just like to just know shit. And the library, it was no stranger to me. Whether it was the school library or the local public library, I was always at the library. Just giving y'all some background here. So that conversation, and I meditated over, and I told the person that I would meditate over and think about it. And so they asked me, well, look, can I share some information with you? And so the same information that they shared with the reader, this is what, I'm not even doing tarot at this point. It's about a year and a half ago. And so the information that they shared with me, I just basically, with my intuitive gifts and the gift of foresight, I just basically told them what was going on, what was going to happen next, and then gave them some advice. And then it happened next. And the advice that I told them, they took advantage of that advice. And as they say, the rest is history. So that's pretty how I got involved in the tarot. I've been into astrology, not as a astrologist or just my whole life astrology, but it's been there since the core of me, since around probably about age 12, 13, or something like that, back in the mid 70s. So that's where I am on the tarot. However, I have an uncle who's an engineer in and I call him my favorite uncle. You know, you always got that uncle, that aunt that you're close to, you know. And so that's why I learned a lot of my musical knowledge, instruments, you know, playing. Right now, I'm good. I'm not professional, but I'm good at on 6 or 7 instruments. But my main one has always been, you know, percussions, drums, things of this nature. So that's that uncle. He reached out back in, that had to have been the early part of 2015. Early part, beginning of 2015. And he got off of work. He called me and I was at work. And he was at work. So he says, Ivory. He called me King, but he said, King, is it possible, man, that I can come by the house, holler at you for a minute, you know, because I had the studio in the house at that time. So he said, I wanted to come by the house and talk to you about some music. I'm thinking he wanted to come by and talk to me about music because he's big, he's huge into, you know, music. And so, make a long story short, when he gets to the house, the conversation really wasn't about music. And so he was asking me, he was like, have you ever thought about social media? And I was like, no, you know, I don't like no social media. I just never been a fan of social media, online doing nothing. He says, man, look, if people only knew who you are, and what you could contribute to people, you could help some people. He says, you've been a big help to me. And I says, man, I'm telling you, I just don't like that. And I said, not only that, being the spiritual being that I am, I mean, shit, some percent, upper 90, some percent of social media, it comes from a block religious mindset. And so I know automatically I would be controversial to talk about things, especially pertaining to spirituality versus religions. And so he said, that's my point. And so that went on, that conversation, and we had that conversation back maybe 3 other times since then. And so one day he called me and he says, did you hear about this? It was a conversation that we had. And I was like, no. He says, man, see, that's what I'm saying. You said this shit about 10 years ago, and that was in 2015. And he said, here it is. This shit's happening. He said, man, you talked about this. I wish I can get him on the phone right now, but he said, man, you talked about this. He said, you saw this and you talked to me about this and you said this here shit 10 years ago, and here it is now. It's like front and center. I says, oh. He said, see, that's what I'm saying, King. That's what I'm saying, nephew. You need to share what you know. So I says, okay. So I called my daughter and asked her to come over to the house. So she come over to the house and we sit down and talk. And she said, yeah, Daddy, right. You know, you need to get on social media. But, you know, my daughter, you know, at the time, you know, she still was going to church every Sunday and so on and so forth. She don't do it now, but she's going to church every Sunday. Like, Dad, yeah, she says, because, Dad, you be talking about stuff that nobody talks about. And I said, yeah. I said, but they ain't gonna do nothing but kick me off. And so she was like, so what? She said, not only that, it's a good way to connect with people that you grew up with, and then family that you don't know, that you have been out of touch with, and they've been out of touch with you. People be asking us about you, and so on and so forth, because I'm a low-key person, right? And so, make a long story short, so she set up that Facebook page. That was in probably spring of 2015, after me and my uncle had those back-to-back, back and forth conversation about I should get on social media. So he set up the Facebook page and told me what to do and so on and so forth, but I never did get on it even after she set it up. So my grandson had a birthday, and she sent me some pictures of my grandson, May, and then she texted me on my cell phone and said, Dad, did you get the pictures that I sent you? I says, no. I said, when you send me some pictures? She said, May is graduating. Then he was graduating from day. You know how they do it. He was graduating from daycare. And then when school was to start back in 2015, he was going to be in kindergarten, his first year in school. And so I was like, baby, no, I didn't get him. I said, hold on for a minute. So I'm checking my phone, trying to see the pictures. So as I'm looking at my phone, I'm like, baby, I didn't get no pictures. She says, no, it ain't on your phone. It's on Facebook. I said, Rachel, you don't know no Facebook. In fact, anyway, so I don't get on no Facebook. So she said, I'll be over there when I get out of school. She was in college. And I said, okay, then. So she come by the house. I'm giving you information, then I'm gonna go ahead and get into it. So she comes by the house. She goes on the Facebook page and showed me the picture. And she showed me how, because I didn't know. So she goes and shows me how to get on Facebook. And then I saw the pictures. I was like, oh, look at little May, this and that and the other, whatever. So she left. That was spring, like May. And so he was getting ready to graduate for daycare. That was May. It was the end of 2015, probably about 6 or 7 months later. And she called me again. And she said, you heard about what happened to so-and-so and so. I'm like, no. She says on Facebook. It was a family member. I was like, Rachel, I told you. So anyway, I go on the Facebook page. I'm on the phone with her this time. And so I get to my computer. And so I'm on the phone with her. And she's telling me how to navigate through Facebook. And then I saw what she was talking about. However, 10 as I say this, however, I noticed that I had, and I asked her, I was like, so what is this little thing that looks like a bell up here? I see a whole bunch of, I see 99 plus. 99 plus. She said, Daddy, that's your notification. So she said, click on that bell. So I clicked on the bell, the notification. Now I know it to be the notification bell. Family, look, probably had about 300 or 400 people from all over the country wishing me a happy birthday. So the birthday on. And so I was like, Rachel, all these people telling me happy birthday. I ain't know these people. She said, that's because you don't get on Facebook. She said, see, let me tell y'all something. And I'm going to be done with this portion. So I get on there, click on the notification. I click on the notification. Man, I saw high school friends, family members that I ain't seen in so many years. I saw junior high friends, elementary friends telling me happy birthday. I felt so bad in a sense that, wow. And then I was looking at some of the birthday, thanks or what have you, shout outs or what have you. And then this one particular friend of mine, after he wished me happy birthday, he said, Ivory. He called me Sly. That's what they used to call me. He said, Sly. Man, word on the stand is you was dead. Dead? He said, yeah. I said, what do you mean, word on the streets talking about me being dead? He said, man, after that event that took place back home that I got caught up in, they thought that I was dead. Some thought that I was locked up. I was like, no, I'm not dead. I'm not locked up. And so I FaceTimed him on Facebook, and he was like, and we had our conversation. Long story short, the beginning, like around January or February of 2016, I called my uncle. I said, you know what? I'm going to go and start getting on this Facebook thing. He good. He said, you going to teach? I says, we'll see, man. Let's see how they going to, respond. The very first post on my Facebook page says something like this. Is there anybody out there like me who know that Jesus Christ never physically existed in the flesh like we was taught or told? Ding, 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 ding. I was like, what the fuck? I asked the next question, my second post on Facebook. Is there anybody out there like me who knows that Adam was not the first man created on this planet? Ding, 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 ding. I mean, so my nephew, I was in the studio at my house. So my nephew was over here on the on what we call the board, the mixing board, the mastering board. So he was over there. He was like, he was like, damn, who's all those people hitting you up? I just asked the question, and it just took off from there. Now, the reason why I was skeptical about social media is because I was really wrapped up even then into my books that I was writing. Not one, not two, not several books. And just writing, research, writing. Go to work, come home, research, writing. At the library, go home, research, writing. That's all I've been doing, to the point to where as I got right now in my living room over there that I got to go. I got two big giant Walmart totes that is just full of, because I didn't want to type and put it online or on stuff like that. So it's just like, for example, like I might have maybe 200-300 of these tablets. And in all of these tablets, it's just, just writings. It's just science. It's just numbers. It's just history. And I just said, you know what? I need to compile this stuff and put it together. Peace and blessings to you, K. Elam. I want to acknowledge everybody that comes into the live. So, okay, that's fine. So the next day, I started responding to these comments I was getting on the Facebook page. And then I started, people asking me, so are you a teacher? Are you this? Are you this? And I was like, no, I'm just sharing some just information. That's all I'm doing. The next thing I had like maybe in the span of about 2 or 3 weeks, maybe about 1,000, not 100, 1,000 friend requests. I don't know none of these people. So I get on the phone. I call my uncle. I said, man, look, all these people sending these requests, and my nephew sitting beside me. I'm like, man, all these people sending me friend requests. I don't know these people, so what I supposed to do? I don't know these people. He says, man, they probably responded to them posts that you made. I saw. Family, let me tell you something. We're at precipice. We're at the point now in history. We're at a crossroad where so many people are questioning what we've been told and what we've been taught. Now, when you understand these three things, I want you to pay attention to this. When you came out of your mother's womb, there were three things that you were given, a lot, but three things that you were given. You was given a name, but it was not a name that fit. It was a quote unquote European name that had nothing to do with who you are. Number one, you were given a number, and that number, you had to use it if you was going to do anything. Y'all call it a social security number. I'm not going to even into the detail of the origin and the purpose of a social security number, because your nation, your government, and the British corporation and the New York Stock Exchange has used your social security number and made millions. You don't even know this. The third thing that you was given is you was given a belief system, a religion that was based on what your parents taught you and told you. So whether you was a Muslim, a Christian, a Catholic, a Hebrew, or whatever, that's where you grew up in that mindset, in that environment. Right? All right. Now, you're walking around and you don't even own yourself. Somebody else controls you. Then we get stuck into what is called a political dogma. And growing up before Martin Luther King Jr., the majority of our people before the Civil Rights Movement were Republicans, including King and his mother, his father, and then you go all the way back to Harriet Tubman, if you will, whatever you want to believe, Harriet Tubman, Jeff Owens, all of these people, Frederick Douglass, you name it, I can go on and on and on. They were Republicans. But because in the politics, and I'm not of that political mindset, because poly, the root word poly means many. And the word tick, if you will, if you dissect it and you research the etymology of it, it means blood sucking. So you put it together like you doing tarot cards. You got one card here and you get that meaning. You read that and then you got another card, the second card, and then it means something. So together it means something. So when you get these many blood sucking energies, you stuck. Then because of the Barry Goldwater situation and because Bobby Kennedy went to his brother, who was then President Kennedy, and said, hey, go back and do what, like again, math, science, history. Hey, Mr. President, Luther King and some of his comrades, Jesse Jackson and a few others, they got locked up. And at the time, there wasn't too much support for Martin Luther King. And at the time when this took place, if you go back and look at his political voting record, folks. What's up, Queen? If you go back and look at his political voting record, before this incident, he was a registered Republican. So with the Barry Goldwater situation, and then with the civil rights situation, then they did this for political reasons. What I mean, so the Kennedy boys, they go and bail him and all of his comrades out of jail. And he do his first public speech after getting out of jail and says he was giving thanks and gratitude to the Kennedy family for getting him out of jail. And from that day forward, he became and changed parties from Republican to Democrat. It's in your books if you go and want to know. You can find video footage of this still. So technically, that's how the majority of people in the civil rights movement of the 50s and 60s switched over, because he switched over because he was this national public figure that was speaking out against social injustice. Y'all follow me? Now listen. But let me show you what we had abandoned and then what we attached ourselves to as far as these politics or these many blood-sucking political figures. So, for those that are in the know, we all have teeth, right? Dentures. And one way that you can determine a person's identity if they're dead and their body has decomposed is the teeth. The skull and the teeth. So now we know that Abraham Lincoln, I'm just giving you some facts. Now, if you don't know facts, why is this white man? Why does he have a black man's denture in his mouth? So when you go to talking about this type of stuff on social media, where 99.9% of people like me and you, melanated people, they believe whatever they are told to believe. Let me tell you something. There was no European man, no white man in the mid-1800s that our ancestors and family, to be free. Not one. Lincoln ain't never freed you from shit. Facts. So, why did they kill Lincoln? Let me give you another clue. If you walking around, you got a black man's teeth in your mouth, you go on and put two and two together and connect dots. A lot of us don't even know there was presidents on this land before George Washington. All right, so now I'm on Facebook talking this here stuff. Speaking truth to facts, truth to knowledge. They blocked me. Because why this man, he ain't been here but 3 months, and he's got almost 8,000 followers, 5,000 friends. They blocked and shut down my page. That was the first time in 2016. I come back into 2016 before I started a second Facebook page. Well, right after I started the second Facebook page, before I made any posts, I called a brother of mine. And I said, look, brother, I see that they got these group pages. So I started the African culture group work. That's been changed now. And that was December 1st, 2016. And it just went viral, skyrocketed. Let me say this to y'all. When it comes to religion, That's been the biggest setback for our people. In 1866, on the U.S. Senate floor and on the House floor, House of Representatives, there was an act or bill, vote, that after the assassination of Abraham Lincoln, who had melanated in him, now I'm telling you, after his assassination, they didn't like the fact that he was trying to help the slaves, if you will. Had his vote in 1866. And that vote was for us to be free as slaves, if you will. Not 99, not 95, not 90, 100% of the Democrats, I call them Democrats, 100% of the Democrats voted against you being free. 100%. In 1868, another vote on the House and Senate floor. 100% of the Democrats voted against you, voted against the right to vote. 1870, 2 years later, 100% of the Democrats voted to keep the slave patrol intact. You got me so far. Now, today, 90-some%, I've told y'all how Martin Luther King, the great leader, became a Democrat. Some even say a sellout. Now, he apologized for it later before he died. But today, 90-some% of our people vote with the Democrat. Now, I want you to go back since the Civil Rights Movement, 52 years ago. I want you to go back, and then I want you to advance forward, and I want you to tell me, do we have more? Are we in a better position today as a people? I'm not talking about the select few. As a people, are we better off today since the Civil Rights Movement, or are we worse? Go and look at the stats. We're way far worse. We own less than we owned before the Civil Rights Movement. We own less than we owned before Lincoln freed us with this proclamation. Why I'm saying this here? They stuck us with religion and politics, and they took away our only strength and power that our ancestors had, and that was spirituality. Let me give y'all some stuff here. Let me give y'all some stuff here. Hold on for a second. I'm gonna give you some notes and stuff from my book. All right. I'm gonna read to y'all something. Now, yeah, I still have several of these, the Bible. But most of our people don't know a damn thing about King James. Because why? We are the type of people that if you put it in a book, you can get us every time. You can deceive us and mislead. All you got to do is, if you put it in a book, because why? We ain't going to read shit. We're not going to research. I'm talking about collectively. I'm not talking about the few of us that do. We're not going to research shit. We're not going to read shit. In other words, you was told that you were Christian when you were born. And none of our parents is responsible for what they taught us in terms of they taught us what they knew. And when you go back, you realize that the reason why we are attached to this doggone book, there's a lot of good in this book, a lot of good wisdom, a lot of good teaching, but it didn't come from the people that gave you the book. It was copied and changed over and over and over and over and over again. And the version that we're stuck on, the King James Version, is the most defiled version of all of the various different versions of the book we call the Bible. And when you think about what I know and what others know, 1% of us nationwide, 1% of us globally, when you know who King James really was, and then when you ask yourself the question, based on the God that you believe in, would a God authorize a man like King James to bring forth his truth? Because some people said, well, God ain't gave King James shit. I don't even know that the man had his parents killed. Most of y'all don't even know that the man was gay. Well, ain't nothing wrong with, all right, then, well, then they need to take that Sodom and Gomorrah story out of here and take it and tear it out the Bible then, if that's the case. Because why would God destroy, say, Sodom and Gomorrah? Because of, say, homosexuality. And then go and find all of the people on the planet and he get King James. In my book, Life Beyond the Cross, A Soul's Journey from Religion to Spirituality, I deal with this dude. We've been programmed. We've been bamboozled. There's over 500 different versions of one book. And these motherfuckers over the centuries has it and added. Take it and add it. And then they hide the original people, Rome, that created Christianity. Throughout 5 different councils, mainly the one in 325 AD, the Council of the Nrgy, where you had Constantine. So on this channel, I can't just be stuck on cards. Most people have never heard of this book, the Apocrypha. Most people don't know that the Catholic Church deliberately kept books out of the book that y'all love, most people. They left for example, let me give you something. Let me give you an example. Hold on. Let me find it right quick. I'll show you what about it. They not only left books, they even left chapters. Hold on. I'm going to try to help somebody here today. Because I go forward with doing what I was doing on Facebook and got banned. I ain't going to be, I got to do what I got to do. All right, here we go. All right. For example, folks, let me highlight it for you so that you can kind of see a little bit more of it. For example, this woman, this melanated woman, not a woman, not a Catholic woman, not a Hebrew, this melanated woman named Esther. I got it highlighted at the top. Now, this book of Esther, I'm going to show you over here on the other side. You see what? Chapter 10. Now, that's the last chapter of Esther before you get to Job. Y'all see that now, don't you? This is the King James Bible. Listen, I'm going to show you something. Chapter 10, and it ends right there. Chapter 10, y'all 10 chapters, and it ends with chapter 10, 3 verses. The Apocrypha. That's thousands of years. That's older than this King James 1611 version that you first get printed text talking about Jesus. Now let's go here. The Apocrypha. Y'all see the 54 books and chapters. Now listen, these are books that y'all don't even, you ain't gonna hear nothing about it in Sunday school, Bible study, Sunday service, none of that. Let's go to Esther. So I'm not saying that there are characters in the Bible that never existed. That's what I'm saying. Hold tight. I want to show y'all something here. Serious. This is very important. And then I'm going to go on to the update on the channel. Give me 1 second here. I want to find something specific. All right. The Apocrypha. I just showed you in your King James Version that Esther stopped at chapter 10. Well, why is that? Let me show you what they left out. Five chapters of the book of Esther, this melanated book. They pick up where they left off at. What do you see? Apocrypha, Esther. Same person. You see that? At the top, chapter 11. So why did they leave 5 chapters? Because it goes to 16. I can go on and on. Everything you see in this book, whether it was in papyrus, tablets, stone, they left it out intentionally, the Vatican Church. For those that know, okay, hold on. The story of Noah. Okay, let me go to the table of contents. Now, when I say updates on this channel, so when you see me come and do videos, and right now I'm just talking about this stuff, there's a lot more. And there's a lot more to me. I can't just come here on any social media platform and specifically deal with cards. Now, listen, we got Esther. They left books out of Psalms. You never heard the book of Tobit, right? No, you ain't never heard of it. The book of Judith. No, you ain't never heard of it. The book of wisdom. I'm talking about Proverbs. No, you ain't never heard of it. The book of Sirach. No, you ain't never heard of it. The book of the Maccabees, 1 and 2. No, you ain't never heard of it. Testament of the 12 patriarchs, and I'm not talking about the 12 apostles. In this segment and I'm going to go to something else here, folks. Listen. We all know. I know who Jesus is because that alphabet J is only a couple of 100 years old, few 100 years old. I know who Jesus is in this book. I also know who Jesus is in this book. In this book, the Nrgy scriptures, I know who Jesus is. I know who Jesus is in this book. I know who Jesus is in this book. I know who Jesus is 14,000 years ago in this book. So what am I saying to you? As I begin to go ahead and I have more books, my point being is this here. Listen. We've been lied to, bamboozled so much to where it's sickening to me. And when I got on social media, as some like to say, you spitting fire. You know why? Because I'm pissed. Because why? As a former pastor, I taught this stuff. I taught it. For example, let me read something to y'all. And then we're going to get more into this channel update. All right. Let me read something to y'all. See, the Bible is I like to call it my book of, this is my anti-venom. When you get bit by a snake, they have anti-venom antibiotics or vaccines that you can take if it's a poisonous state, right? So the same thing that bit you, they take something from that same thing to help you to heal. I take something from this book now to help people to heal. Now listen, I'm going to go to Genesis, and then I'm done with the books. Hold on. And I'm going to read to y'all Genesis, the 4th chapter. I'm just going to read a couple of verses here. Y'all bear with me. Because this is important. Not to mention the politics. I ain't going to deal with that shit right now. Y'all see what's going on in Washington. I told people about this here back on social media, but I did this here shit back in 96. Anyway, listen. Verse 16, chapter 4. Then Cain went away from the presence of the Lord and settled in a land called Nod, east of Eden. Cain knew his wife, which simply means that he knew her, and then not only that, he had sex with his wife. And she conceived and bore a son. His name was Enoch. When he built a city, he called the name of the city after his son, Enoch. All right. So why did the Catholic Church leave Enoch, the book of Enoch? Why did they leave this here? There's a reason. See, our people, you know what? If I was doing a reading right now, there'd be 11 people in here. That's why I say I'm only after the 1%. Everybody don't want to know the truth. Everybody don't want to know history. Everybody don't want to know who we are. You're not Christian. And there's life beyond that cross. You don't have to die. Listen. One more. I promise you. One more, then I'm done. Hold on. Then God said, Genesis 1st chapter, let us make man in our image, in our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea and over the birds and the heaven and over the livestock and over all the earth and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he, male and female created he them. And Eve ain't created yet. Now listen, Right back again. Let us make man in our image and in our likeness. Who is the our? Now, you know, I know as a pastor, a former pastor, we was always told to believe that the hour, let us create man in our likeness and in our image, was the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Lie. Now, I can prove it to you, and that's what I'll be doing time to time on this channel. So if you come in here in the future just for card, now when I go to teach it on the history of tarot, just like they hid shit from you here, they hid shit about your spiritual divination dealing with tarot from the ancient tablets of Nrgy tablets. They lied to you about that. So they want to give a credit to Rome, or they want to give a credit to Italy, Milan, and said that one, I'm going to call his name right now, is the one that is responsible for giving you the origin of tarot. It's bullshit. There was no queen in the original tarot book tablet. There was not 78 cards, folks. If you notice on this channel, because I know what I know, and I got y'all like called receipts to back it up. But there's a reason why if you notice, I always deal with tarot and I'm not into these zodiac. A lot of y'all don't know anything about, most people don't know anything about Tehuti or thought, Thoth, where you get the word, the original word, what you call thought, Thought, derived from the original word thought, Thoth. They taught you 5 senses: touch, smell, taste, hear, see, so. But the one important sense that they left out and hid from you was the most important one, because it connected you to your spirituality. And that 6th sense is the 6th sense of thought. The world consciousness goes back 2,500 plus years. And if they can keep you from thinking within yourself, asking self questions, they got you. They got you. So when you walk around here and they teach you in the fucked up ass curriculums in schools, and you get a test on how many senses do you have? We say 5. Bullshit. Because they don't want you to think for yourself. I was taught you don't question the Bible. You don't question God. Okay, so when I go to telling people that the us that created man was not the Father, Son. I just gave you one example of how a sister named Esther, and they taught you, and you embedded in your mind, you think of this here sister as what? A white woman or a Hebrew. Bullshit. And they only give you 9 chapters. I just showed you that there's 16. And the last 5 is just important. But if you read the first 10 in this here original text that was printed thousands of years before you got this here 1611 version, it is shocking. Case in point, the hours, the us who created man. God. In all of your okay, some of y'all like the original, right? Y'all don't like counterfeit. Raise your hand, drop in the comment. Ivory, now I like counterfeit. I like knockoff. I don't like the real deal. I don't like to know about origin. I like counterfeit. I like the knockoff. Good. I know how to deal with you. But if you like the original, because I can show you it, listen, books and papers, that's fine. But when you got stuff that's written in stone and stories written in, carved in stone, 36,000 years ago, before the pyramids. So if you really want to know the truth, even about tarot, you got to go back to stone and tablets. You got to go back to your ancient ancestors and parents. And the we, or the us, or the our, that created man, and that God name, and these here in stone, in the beginning, gods. They just said God in this book. Gods in the beginning, gods in stone. That's older than this 1611 version, older than any book go get. In the beginning, gods with an S in all of your ancient texts created man. Who was the our? God is not a name and is not a man. That name is Anu. A-N-U. Anu. Go look it up. Do your research. Because in the basements, in them 5-mile long hallways, not Elohim. Elohim is not the name. Anu. And Anu had 2 sons. Now, if you go and read the Emerald Tablets, now you ain't got to go and try to translate all of this here in these languages before the Greeks, the Romans, the Hebrews, and before anything pertaining to Christianity or religion. Tahuti. Thought. Where you get the word thought. T-H-O-U-G-H-T. Anu. Tahuti's dad. Anu. There was 2 brothers. Haru. See, you still in the religious aspect, the religious mindset. Anyway, I just said the pyramids are not beyond 36,000 years. If you do your research, I'm talking 36,000 years ago. Listen, Anu had a son. Let me keep going. Had 2 sons. Enlil, E-N-L-I-L. And Enki, E-N-K-I. Anu is the root word for Anunnaki. And in this book you call the Bible, let us make man in our likeness, our image. It was Anu. I'm going to prove it on this channel. I'm going to share it with you rather than prove it. It's going to require you to do some research. Now, you want to deceive us as a people, put it in a book. We ain't going to research and read hardly shit. Enki and Enlil, those 2 brothers, they was against each other. The story you get from Adam and Eve having 2 boys Adam ain't the first. It was genetically modified and created. Whole nother lecture. But listen. So the story you get between Cain and Abel comes from 36,000 years ago. The story between Nrgy and Nrgy. But they didn't kill her. They didn't kill each other. Listen. Like the sister said, he who have ears, listen, learn, research. Okay. Say Tahuti. Listen. You have what is called a Kabbalion. From lips to ears, not books. Because any book they destroyed and burned of our history. Let me give you one more. Let me give you one nugget. And I'm going to get to the channel. Let me give you one more nugget. How many know the story about Jesus in the Bible in terms of when he was born, you had a king of the Jews. His name was Herod. Evil motherfucker. But I know who Herod is. That ain't his damn name. Listen. So Herod sent out a law, passed a law or edict when he found out that people were saying the king of the Jews born, Jesus. Now notice Jesus didn't have a quote unquote earthly father. And he says, I'm not from this place. If you research and find out the definition of the word alien, that's anybody that's not from Earth. Now, the God of the Bible created one planet, not the universe. It says it in Genesis. In the beginning, God created what? The heaven and the earth. It didn't say he created Mercury, Mars, Venus, Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune, Uranus. He ain't say that. Go read the book. Don't believe me. I'm not here to get nobody to believe me. All right. So you knew the story of Jesus. So Herod tried to have the firstborn males killed. I know the full story from stone and tablets, papyrus, scrolls, hidden in, because if they put it in hidden in the dens of mountains in Egypt, because they knew that Ptolemy and these fake ass rulers, these Greeks, these Romans, and later on these Europeans, they come in there and destroy all of your fucking history, and all that they carry out, all that they couldn't destroy, they took it back. And a lot of that shit's is in the Vatican right now. Them 5-mile long ass high hallways. Got all of your history right there hidden from you. Just like you got whistleblowers now, you got motherfuckers now. This shit's coming out because why? We ain't got to go to the halls of them. It's in stone. Listen. So you had the firstborn males killed, trying to kill Jesus. There ain't no alphabet J now, but we're going to go along with the story. Try to kill Jesus. Now, he didn't have no earthly father. But where did they take? What did his mama and daddy, Mary and Joseph, say? We don't want this man, Herod, to kill our son, so we need to get the fuck out of here. I'm paraphrasing. Because the book told you. Where did they go? Anybody know? Where did Mary and Joseph take their son Jesus? The King of Jews. Because I can tell you who Jesus is later on. Where did they take him? They took him to Egypt. Why Egypt? This so-called evil ass place. Why would they take him to Egypt? To keep him getting killed. Why did Muhammad and his comrades running when they was down in Medina. And he's supposed to been had vision with the angel Gabriel. You got to know the whole story. Now, so they went to Egypt. So why did Mary and Joseph take this boy to Egypt? And then after Herod died, they left Egypt. And they come back to Jerusalem, if you will, to Canaan. Listen. Now the little boy getting older. He gets to the age 12. If you know the story in this book, when he got to the age 12, what happened? Told his mom and his daddy, little boy, can you imagine your son 12 years old? Mama, daddy, I got to leave y'all because I got to be about my father's business. And he got on down. They let the boy go. Where he go? Egypt. And from age 12, he's down in Egypt. Who was he learning? He had to be about his father's business. He learned from thought. Tahuti. And from there, he leaves and goes down to Tibet. They don't talk about where he went. All they tell you is, I got to be about my daddy's business. Deuces. See you later. So he's gone from age 12. He goes down to Egypt. He learns. He's taught by thought. I'm going to go further in the future. Listen. Then after he got learning down in Egypt from thought sent him to where? Tibet. And he leaves from Tibet and he goes where? India. And then he leaves India and goes where? Back to Egypt. Back to Egypt. And then from Egypt, he goes where? Back to Jerusalem, riding in to Jerusalem on a donkey, on an ass. He's 32 years old. So what was he doing for the 20 years that these folks don't tell you? I'm going to share with you as I go forward on specific days that I'll do some more teaching here. So all these missing books and teachings, I got it. I'm not the only one. I just didn't want, I wouldn't be surprised if some point in time YouTube banned me. Hopefully they don't, but I can't do shit on Facebook. I tried to do a video Sunday. Anyway, religions. You got his story. That's where you get the word history from. That's his story. That is not our story. We are spiritual beings having a divine human experience. 2020, as I say that. And now, the Great Awakening. Because a few of us dare put our lives on the line. I was teaching this here public like I used to when I was a preacher. And I would go on street corners. As long as I'm talking about Jesus, shouting and people coming, supporting me. And like Jesus, I come back 20 years later. My own people that look like me, cursing at me, telling me I'm a devil, telling me I'm going to hell. And then on one occasion, somebody shot over there while I was teaching. And my guy said, come on, let's go. We got another plan. I get put out of Jimmy Hook's information center in Memphis, Tennessee, where I would pay for space to teach. And I was doing a video on one particular occasion live on Facebook where I was telling people, look, I can show y'all in this public library where I'm at and prove to you in 9 minutes or less that Jesus Christ never physically existed in the flesh as you was taught. You need to know who he is. Whether you want to say Esu, Iesu, because there's no J. And until you know what that man learned, what that boy learned between the ages of 12 and 32, and then they did what? They killed him. But proof, he never was killed. Christ is what's returning. Jesus is not coming back, as they say. Because Christ is a mindset. It's called Christ consciousness. That's the awakening. That's what's coming back. You is Christ consciousness. Ain't nobody coming back in no sky for you. I promise you. I was sharing with a few, and I was like, on the channel here, I says, let's get together and do a soul tribe meet and greet. And so that's what we're going to plan to do. Because it's not just me now, worldwide. There's about 100 million of me worldwide, just like me and you, that no longer believe his story. Who is his? The Vatican, the Catholic Church that gave you Christianity, the Greeks who came in, Alexander, his ass ain't great. They come into Kemet. The first time he come in there, and he goes and he comes in and he's like, wow. It's like New York in the fucking desert. All these tall buildings and structures, pyramids, and seeing who? He saw the black woman, the melanated woman, God, like sitting on the throne. Shocked the shit out of him. He goes back to his dad. Said, Daddy, I want to tell you a story about these people in this land called Kemet. And after he got through telling his dad about Kemet, his dad said, I must have Kemet. I must have this place. And they go in there, and just like they came on this land. See, you got history on this America that goes back 30-some thousand plus years. Tijuana all the way down to Brazil. That proves that all these, wherever you see these pyramids, this is who designed them and built them. No, it's not no person with a bird head, an ibis bird head. No. That's personification. It's pertaining to detail. And you got to really, really dig deep. That's why that head is there. It's Hootie was a real man, thought was a real man, put on clothes, put off clothes like us. The people said, let us create man in our likeness and our image. They were worshiped as God because of who they were, Anunnaki. And then when I tie into the Nephilims or the Nephilims, these giants, The sons of God married the daughters of men, had children. So this God of the Bible gonna let you anyway. So I says, let's go ahead and let's get together, because I get these emails and I don't share them. And there's people on this page, this channel, that wants to know more than just cards. So starting out, maybe once, twice a week, I'm gonna take this here Bible. I got Torah, Quran too, whatever. But I'm gonna take this Bible and I'm gonna show you the 1611 print versus the print that they left out. Then that way you can compare. Don't believe me. Any of these books currently you can go out and get on Amazon. One of my favorite books that I have that I just had now for a few months is the one that has a platform and that has not been censored and just blocked, who's confirming a lot of what I've been saying that my uncle told me this is why you should get on social media. And y'all know this brother. Any of these books you can get on Amazon. The main thing that y'all need to know, folks, if you're a Christian listening to me, is what happened to, quote unquote, your Lord and Savior from age 12 to age 32. Once you find out that and you find out where he went, once you find out that this man got married and had children, it's gonna blow your mind. Once you find out that he didn't die on no cross, that's why I titled my book, Life Beyond the Cross. So I purposely took tarot, even though you still do it, because see, I'm gonna start sharing, but I'm gonna print it out, and then I'm gonna kind of like redact the person's name and email out, and then that way you can just read some of these emails that I get. Just dealing with the cards, Ivory. You telling my whole fucking story. You know I don't know these people. You know why? Because my approach to tarot is so vitally different. I don't need the cards. And when I share with y'all videos from Facebook that was banned, and then I go back and do it again, and then ban and go back and do it. I mean, taken down. And the last one that they made a mistake. And they let that video come back up for whatever reason, other than my guys and my ancestors allowed it to pop back up for a brief period. And that video was entitled, Don't Take the Shot. And I told everybody in 2017, 3 years, that I saw that my guys, my ancestors, spirit, source, the universe, allowed me to see, because they knew I was not on social media for no fame and no likes and no shares and no fucking clicks. And told them, tell the video, don't take the shot. Now, yeah, you got right and free will to do what you want to do, but now you don't. Now you see. But anyway, I told him all about Fauci, his sorry ass. I told him all about the labs in North Carolina, the lab in Wuhan. I told him all about how COVID-19, I can say it now, I was banned and censored from saying certain things. I told him all about the 5 cities that they was going to roll this bullshit out. And I told them how they were going to use our people, and the whole, and in some cases, everybody, how they're going to use our people as fucking guinea pigs. I told everybody how they were going to change the name from Corona, which is a virus that has been existing for decades, and switched it to a code name, COVID-19. And for 19 years, they've been planning to roll this bullshit out before 2020. And when they saw me and the emails, threats that I was getting back in 2017, and they blocked my shit. But in 2022, last year, in June, it popped back up rarely. So I took another device and tried to get some footage and record. Because why? Now y'all know all you got to do is go watch Washington, D.C. Now they know that the damn shit started in the fucking lab. That man that y'all call crazy man, I'm not a politician. I don't vote for no motherfucking body. I'm not into that poly, mini, tits, blood sucking. I'm not into these blood suckers. But there was that one man, though, that called it what initially? The China virus. And I tell people, keep your eyes on the sky because, listen, keep your eyes on water. Hey, there's coming a time that the lockdown that you experienced in 2020, that is nothing compared to what's coming. And if you're not conscious and spiritually strong, this is going to really affect you. I got a video on my page, go back, pertaining to 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. I told y'all what happened to Biden last year or early this year. Now y'all see that shit coming out. I don't have to go back. I don't need to look at no motherfucking news. I know what's finna happen to his ass. Him and his damn crackhead ass boy. That's karma. I shared with y'all what this motherfucker said back in 94, 95 about you, me, and crack. Now this motherfucker got a crackhead in the damn White House. Now they finding powder in the crack house. I don't even call it the White House no more. In the fucking crack house. Now y'all see, oh yeah, it's finna go down. And for many of y'all that don't know, by the time, listen, America is dying and corroding at the core. And there's going to be a restart and a reset. But there's going to be uprisals like you've never seen. That's going to make the Civil War look like a fight in the park between two gangs. Because why? Everything is about to reset globally. You got a compromised fucking president in the White House. He sold out their little corporation, because that's all America is. Crime family. He sold, quote, he sold us out. He ain't sell me out. I don't believe in none of the motherfuckers. I'm not down with nobody. This spiritual awakening, folks, is real. This conscious awakening is real. And 1% of us, y'all like to say the chosen, 144,000. Okay, so you got all these billions of people that knew what you knew, if you will, religiously. So you don't think that a lot of them is included in the 144? So that means maybe what, 4,000 of y'all? Because shit, it's 100 and some thousand that you can count out to be chosen. You have billions on this. How many of them 144,000 you think is left chosen? Well, 144. So 144, these millions of people, compared to the billions and billions and billions historically. Adam in the Bible was genetically modified, created. Genesis is a feminine woman's melanated name. And before any god, masculine, ever existed on this planet, that melanated being, woman, for 200,000 years, that was your first god. Adam came from a woman, not dirt. Is there some good things in these? Yeah. But it's not his story, it's ours. And until you know that, and for those helpers, if you don't know who Nrgy is, I'm going to show you who Nrgy is. And for those of you who are in religions, and when you get through saying your prayers, and at the end you say, amen, you only saying Amen. Ra. That'll make Hitler look like a kid. That'll make Hitler look like a kid. This thing is deep. And it cuts to the soul. The soul don't know nothing about these damn religions. Now, I stay to myself like I've always done. But now I'm embracing once again, for the first time after about 2 years, 2.5 years, my uncle called me. Said, King, I'm so glad you back. Man, I'm so glad you back. But when I share with y'all some of these emails from people on this channel and how their life has been shared through cards that I've created energetically through downloads. That's what's resonating with you. Not just these king, because there was no such thing as an empress. The empress and the high priestess, according to the ancient tablets, the empress and the high priestess is the same. Y'all hear me say it all the time. So you see an empress card come out at any of my spread, I'm going to keep telling y'all. It's a high priestess. And they tell y'all that their high priestess is evil. ISIS. Then they come up with this evil ass group ISIS and they put it in your mind. Oh, ISIS is evil. ISIS, because they don't want you to go and reset. They just want you to believe at the surface level. Oh, ISIS, ain't that those terrorists and those one? The biggest fucking terrorists you got is in America, is in Europe, is in China, is in Mecca. How are you going to tell some country, another country, that We want y'all democracy. They killed, they committing genocide, they doing this, they kill, they murder, they rape. And these same motherfuckers, look at what they did to us. You ain't gonna get no reparation because you didn't come here as a slave nor your parent. You was already here. And in their highest little court, the Supreme Court, that's why nobody has never been awarded no damn reparation as former slave descendants. Because why? You wasn't no slave. You didn't come off a boat. Did I say slavery never existed? No, I didn't say that. The majority of everybody that considered a descendant of slaves from Africa, you didn't come off of no fucking boat. You didn't come from Africa. Your ancestor was all fucking ready here, looking at these fools coming ashore. For those who have been sending prayers to my pops, I appreciate you. The man is going through. I just don't say a lot of shit because this ugly ass energies that comes to this page that would love to see pops gone. Facts. They dark asses. And they know I know who they are. I can be in the middle of doing a reading. And they'll come in here. Everybody else is on a whole nother frequency. And then all out of the blue, they want to know about Pops. Pops doing better than you think. You evil asses. Out of my pockets, this man has specialists, along with the ancestors and the guides and spirit and source. There's a reason why he's still here. They gave up on my dad in March. My dad has been in hospice. He's out of hospice. My whole life had to change. He got specialists that his Social Security and all this, his man, it don't cover folks. And when I ask people for him, he come up with the idea with the bucket. When I say put something in the bucket, everything go in the bucket, go pop, I mean that shit. If y'all saw my dad now, I can share videos of y'all with my dad last year, back here in January. Him dancing at a birthday party. Dancing with different people, singing. Now he's bed-stricken. And if I showed y'all even more, but I'm not. You, me, none of us, without the assistance of the gods that's watching over him in spirit, we would not. I tell my dad, there's no way in the world I think I could go through what you've been through. My dad, the specialists and the doctors, they look at my dad and they be like, and his nurses, because they said my dad's blood levels got to the point at one point in time since March that they was the blood levels, his labs was us, the blood levels of an autopsy. The blood levels you would get from somebody that's gone. And they were constantly asking him, Mr. Boyd, Mr. Sylvester, are you all right? Are you in pain? And he'd be like, yeah. My dad is on the highest level of pain medication that they can give a human. He's still singing. He's still cracking jokes. He's still laughing. He got everybody laughing. And people that don't even care for him in this facility, they go to his room every day just to rub him and say he a blessing. Because if I showed you him, you wouldn't believe it. And these specialists is expensive. And if I was relying on family and friends to make sure these specialists and everybody is paid, it wouldn't even, you can't. By the grace of the Creator all and his guides, he's here. Tells me now, man, look, go on and live. I'm good. I'm at peace. Do what you do. He will, and his birthday coming up on the 18th of next month. And he says to me, he said, make sure they put something in my bucket. So one day the nurse, Mr. Ivory, what do your dad be talking about when he say put something in the bucket? I said, it's a long story, but if I told y'all, you know. I says, yeah. He said, yeah. And I'm going to release his t-shirt that he came up with about 3 years ago with some of his sayings, little jokes and stuff. And he asked me every now and then, they got my t-shirt. He know y'all as the family. That's where I get the bucket family from, the bucket supporters. He knew all that because when I first got on here doing this tarot, like I'm sitting here and in my house, man, I miss my house. But he would be sitting beside me in his lazy boy. He likes to rock. And he would be hearing me talking. And some of y'all that's been here since day one, y'all remember in the background cracking his jokes and singing. He remember y'all. He remember me talking to y'all. This man done sat here and see me come up with, I got 20 decks that I created because I know who I am and I know my energy. That's why it's resonating with you. I'm not using Western civilization tarot. Tarot was downloaded to me. I mastered it in 2 weeks, just the 78 cards. It's more than that. So my guy says, okay, they see what you're doing. Take that off because you still got to teach. I'm a teacher. That's who I am. Several lifetimes I've been doing this. Yeah, I've gotten off track. I've been distracted by other energies. I'm here. So I sit here in this quiet domain and I go out in nature and I get my sunbathe. I get my downloads and I meditate. No distractions. So between now and before it gets too cold, there's a group of us that I would like to assemble so that we can meet and greet, so that you can see for yourself. Not only that, some of y'all done been through so much bullshit and you just withdrawn. You don't talk to a lot of people, but you got a lot you want to say. So to be around people that are like you, that can allow you to be a little bit more open. Yeah, play our spades and our cards and our dominoes and barbecue and go to a park or what have you. Yeah, I want to do that because My dad, man, you need that. Get out. I used to travel all over the country. And for the past 2 years, I just been in this mode of just get as much as you need to get. And sometimes when your guys and when spirit sits you down, that's when they can talk to you. And I listen. And I write. So for those, a lot of y'all got gifts and talents, but just because you've been in hermit and isolated, you ain't just been doing shit. But you want to. So when you put like energies, like minds together, because this thing that you call democracy in this country, this shit is getting ready to fall. I've been telling everybody about the political civil war that's been going on since the 90s in this country. Now it's just at the peak. For the first time, you might see 2 presidents get impeached back to back, and both of their asses might end up going to jail. There's a reason why this man sending billions every month to Ukraine. You know why? Because his ass took money and put it in his motherfucking pockets. They bought him. China bought his ass. Russia bought his ass. Romania bought his ass. And other countries, they done bought his ass. He can't do shit. Because if he don't do what they tell him, they got receipts on his ass. And they'll expose him, and they know it'll cause what? A civil war. That's why Putin said, "Oh, okay, then let me go over here to Ukraine and get and do what the fuck I want to. U.S. can't do shit. Why? Because they got receipts on your president. That's why China can do what the fuck they want to do, and your president can't do shit. You know why? Because they got receipts on his ass. You feel me? Blackmailing the shit out of him. Using his sick, crackhead ass boy as a scapegoat to hide his cover of who the fuck he really is. I've been on his ass since both. So I'm glad all this shit's coming to a fucking end. I can't wait till America hit rock bottom. Now, those of you who rely on your government and these religions and these politicians, you're going to get vacuumed up in they bullshit. But for the 1% of us, not the 144,000, but the 1% of us that will be spiritually awakened, it will you and your seed that you teach the truth to that will have to come back and replenish the earth. Earth ain't going nowhere. Damn last days and rapture. Hell, who is that? William Darby. William fucking Darby. Google him. Start there. Go there. William Darby. 1830, 1835, somewhere around in there. That was a note, if you will, that eschatology, the rapture was put in here in 1830, 1835 to keep you bound, thinking that you're going to be caught the fuck up. Darby, William Darby. Go look him up. It's there. You got white folks exposing his ass. There will be no rapture Ain't nobody coming back in the sky for you. If it is, it's an alien, because they ain't from this country. They ain't from this planet. This shit is not deep. It's just hidden. It's just hidden. And this motherfucker, boy, yeah. Yeah. They created religion called Christianity, Islam, and Judaism. They created this dude. They created him. James William Darby. All this eschatology and dimensionalism, James William Darby put in this book in Thessalonians. See, they can always have versions, reprint. This is the only book since 1611 that has gone through over 500 makeovers. Not since 1611, since 30 AD, 30 BC. This book has gone through 530 some makeovers. Add, take away, add, take away. How long? You're going to find out. Because why? You're going to become spiritually awakened to this bullshit. But it's going to require you. Research and knowledge is expensive these days because I have not yet, I will next year, but I have not yet gone to some of the places, to Tijuana, to Egypt, to Peru, where all this information, where they get, you got to realize these Europeans are young people on this planet. Their history go back, Adam, about 6,000 years. I just told you the melanated woman, the copper tone woman, was the first god, quote unquote, worship. 200,000 years for the first 200,000 years, Homo sapiens sapiens on this planet. The serpent in the Garden of Eden is Nrgy, Anu's son, the good one. The one that was supposed to have been dead, Abel. Abel ain't dead. Cain didn't kill his brother. That's Enlil and Nrgy. That's who was talking to the melanated woman in the garden. Been bamboozled, lied to, deceived, plagiarized, use our own. See, we walked away from spirituality and ran right into religion, the counterfeit. And we've been stuck there for centuries. That's why we have not evolved as a people. That's why we don't have our land. From Africa to South America to this North America, wherever you go, it's the melanated people that's struggling. Every now and then they let a few of us sellouts get a little something. And then we think we the shit. Selling out your own damn people. So I appreciate everybody stopping by. If you're interested, for those that was in the live last night, we're gonna get together because y'all listen, it's coming out time. Fuck that. Yeah, you done ran into some devils, you done ran into some dark ass energies. Yeah, they thought they fucked over you, they thought you was down, They thought you weren't going to amount to nothing. They send their dark negative energy. They do their spell work. But when you know you spiritually and divinely protected, and they see you rise up, they see you evolve, they're going to be a shock and awe one day to see you in your final spirit state or your glory. That's going to be their karma. You can't stop what the universe and spirit has destined in your life, has fated in your life. They can't stop that. I don't give a fuck who they is. You just got to get back in touch with you. And the real true you is your soul, connected to your purpose, connected to your heart, connected to your first sight, your throne, which is your pineal. And once you go that awakening, after that dark night of the soul, you will never, ever be the same. And everything you touch, everything that you manifest, as they say, is going to turn to gold and prosperity. You've already weathered they bullshit. And that's the reason why I'm not going to bite my damn tongue like my daddy say. Man, don't never bite your tongue. That shit hurt. Tell it like a T.I. is, as he say. And that's what I do. So people that comes here for cards only, you're going to soon and quickly run and go to other channels, because why? You want to hear, you could be a Libra, you could be a Gemini. Your twin, they going through right now. Spirit said, wait, they going through. They laid up with another husband or another wife or another man or another woman, and you speak for this damn motherfucker. As the old folks would say, the devil is a lie. I ain't waiting on shit. You shouldn't wait on shit. How's you sitting around watching tarot, waiting on the motherfucker to come back that with somebody else betrayed you, slandered you, tarnish your reputation behind the scene, sending you negative energy and doing spell works and doing all kind of dark different, and you waiting on that motherfucker to come back? You waiting on them to line up and heal when y'all soul coming up. Bullshit. The devil is a lie. So if you're interested, my email is in the description box. If you want to get together right now, we're trying to come up with a geographic location. And just like everybody else, the way they do things, you come together, each one teach one, help one, and we're going to get to this one location. Watch what happens. All of your business ideas, all of this shit, we're going to build some wealth from this channel right here. And now that I'm able to be back active with the Soul Journeys Network Facebook page, where there's 20-some thousand people, we're going to get together. I just had to evolve, regroup, restart, reset. It's on and popping now. Why? Pop straight. I done got that blessing. You know how when the ancestors bless you, I got that blessing from that living ancestor. It's over with. It's over with. Come out of that hermit shell. It's over with. Come out of that four sword. It's over with. Be around like energies that have healed and have encountered the same bullshit. Now you can share talks amongst each other. Just like you sitting in an AA or a CA with other folks that are alcoholic or drug addicts, and they share their story. That's how we getting ready to do this shit. And one by one, we gonna build this wealth. And that's it. Straight from a quote unquote tarot channel. With a person like me who don't give two fucks Period. That's the energy I ride on. When you don't give two fucks and you're not fearful, you're not afraid, you're getting ready to do shit. Why? Because the universe got your back. Your guys got your back. Spirit got your back. And can't nothing stop it. You'll see folk die in front of you fucking with y'all. Some of y'all, if you knew who you were, not talking about your name, your social, your religion, your political status. If you knew who you were spiritually, you'd be just like in the mix. And when he realized who he was, he's stopping bullets in the air. You can do that shit. You just got to know who you are. Period. Peace. We'll come back here later on at time is it? At 6 p.m. Do another mystery zodiac, and we'll deal with the fixed signs. All right. Thanks for stopping by. I just wanted to come and give y'all an update and reintroduce myself. So you'll see I'm not about these cards only. That's a small, minute, mustard seed portion of who I am. That's recent down. All right. Peace.